Good evening. I am Chance Bowen, and this is the Paint the Town Red podcast. And today is Fun Friday. We're going to talk about some news and then my view of the current political situation. What's next for America First, the fastest growing political party in America today? They own the online narrative through the best memes by far, but there are growing pains, and I will attempt to identify them and what we must do and fix to move forward. But first, this is what's going on in the world. Appeals court blocks Trump's birthright executive order. A federal appeals court has ruled Trump's attempt to end birthright citizenship as unconstitutional, another defeat for the Trump agenda. Now, why would the court do this? Well, they cited the 14th Amendment. All persons born in the United States are subject to the jurisdiction, therefore are citizens. And this applies regardless of who their parents are. This to me is just proof that when the morality of the people change, the laws change. This is why the people who inhabit the country make the state, not the laws on a piece of paper. Conservatives will always argue that what makes this nation great is our Constitution alone. And I reject this line of thought. And this is the perfect example of that. President Trump showed up at the Federal Reserve and publicly clashed with Chair Jerome Powell, calling out a $3.1 billion renovation bill and demanding rate cuts. Trump and Powell's showdown has everyone giving their take on the interaction. One side is saying Trump's owned Powell, and of course the other side is saying that Jerome corrected Trump and put him in his place, even shortening the video, and I'll show an example of that.
And it looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. It looks like it's about 3.1 billion. It went up a little bit, or a lot. So the 2.7 is now 3.1.
I'm not aware of that.
Yeah, it just came out.
Yeah, I haven't heard that from anybody at the Fed.
Yeah, it just came out.
Our notes had it about 3.1 as well.
3.1,
3.2.
This came from us?
Yes. I don't know who does that.
You're including the Martin renovation. You just added.
Our entire capital.
Yeah, you just added in a third building. Is what that is. That's a third building,
Well,
including
no,
the
but
Martin building.
it's a building that's being built.
No, it was built 5 years ago. We finished Martin 5 years ago.
It's part of the overall work.
But it's
So,
not new.
So we're going to take a look. We're going to see what's happening, and it's got a long way. Do you expect any more additional cost overruns?
Don't expect them.
This is why I hate two-party politics. You guys are so obviously brainwashed on both sides. Trump brings up a good point. The overspending must be stopped. But he tried to over-embellish the numbers and add in other things like what was said by Powell. Powell publicly, and he tried to do it publicly to embarrass Powell. So in reaction, Powell defended himself by adding in the context of what number he was mentioning. So I say they're both overspending, and they both should be fired. Trump doesn't have the best spending record, and apparently neither does Powell, so let's get them both out. Now, it being Fun Friday, I'd like to take a moment and give you my thoughts about the political landscape as a whole. Right now, the America First movement has more power than ever. We own the online battleground. As proof of this, look at Congress right now. They're in recess because of the Epstein files. Look at Turning Point. Every discussion is centered around who? Israel. Even the Nelk Boys podcast with Bibi Netanyahu is coming up major backlash. It's finally being exposed that Israel and our enslavement by the globalists must end. Now that everyone is just about tired of hearing about the Epstein files, we need to start doing some housekeeping with ourselves. There is a notable split in the right wing taking place, but we would be stupid to hand over all of those victories to the Democrats. Now, I'm not ever going to suggest applying to the masses in order to gain political traction. To me, this is an abandonment of what Christ told us would happen. If we are honest, after all, Satan is the ruler of this world. Online, you hear the problem we face today can't be solved politically. I reject this wholeheartedly. And even if it is true, we need to lead with our hearts. Jesus intended us to do so. Now, the jokes and the memes are powerful, but if we don't organize, we will lose guaranteed. The Democrats are running anti-establishment candidates like Zoran Mondani and having success. When are we going to do the same? Now, don't be fooled. He is largely funded by people like George Soros, so I can't classify him as anti-establishment. But the reason I'm bringing it up is because he's not the equivalent of what we have on the right. Some of the main tenets of America First is rejecting Republican and Democrat idea caging in order to gather the popular vote. And that's why you see the Republican Party now with gays and everything else. And they're abandoning Christianity and partnering up with people like gays. And that's why I've made a big revision about politics and kind of where I'm at politically. The correlation I'm drawing from Zoran Mondani is his biggest small donors came from Muslims from all over the nation. We could do this with the Christians that are tired of being owned by the globalists and watching the native populations being dismantled. In this process, to gather funding, we must not make the mistake Zoran Mondani make or AOC by taking money from Israeli proxies. In order to defeat the establishment, they're taking money from George Soros, one of the biggest globalists. Like, come on, that's not helping anybody, and they're totally fake, and the Democrats will probably fall for it. We can't do that at America First. The first step is going to be identifying who the candidates are. We may have Thomas Massie, but other than that, I can't really think of any others that we can try to get elected. A big mistake would be to control the right online narrative and then help Democrats achieve victories. We must operate in an organized political sense. Then, the way we win our nation back is by doing what Jesus tells us to do: pray and lead with our hearts. And if we just keep saying there is no political solution, that will be actively seeking a physical revolution. I believe we can do it politically. Ladies and gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, our nation stands at a precipice beneath the glossy screens and the hollow slogans. We see the truth. Our homeland, once mighty and proud, now lies in chains, not of iron, but of finance and of media and of globalist dogma. Look around you. Our cities rot while foreign wars are waged in our name. Our borders are open to all but the native sons and daughters who built this nation. Our industries are shipped overseas, our culture diluted, our history spat upon by those who neither understand it nor respect it. This is not a mere mismanagement. It is sabotage, a deliberate dismantling of sovereignty. And who benefits? Not you, not me, not the worker, not the father, the mother, the soldier. No. The beneficiaries are the internal class of rootless elites, the bankers without loyalty, the corporations without a flag, the politicians without a spine. We are told to be ashamed of our traditions, to bow before the altar of progress as if decaying were a virtue, as if obedience to foreign interests were patriotism. They call it liberal democracy. I call it what it is: rule by those who despise the nation they pretend to lead. But I say this now, it ends. We do not seek chaos, we seek order. Not oppression, but discipline. Not hatred, but hierarchy. A nation must stand on pillars: family, faith, and identity, or it collapses into dust. We will restore pride to our people, industry, to our workers, borders, to our lands, and power, real power, back to the hands of our nation, not the internal class that mocks us. We reject both the decay on the left and the fake conservatives that rot our party. We are neither reactionaries nor revolutionaries. We are reborn nationalists, the vanguard of a new era. So rise with me, not as pawns, but as patriots. This is the reckoning, and history will not remember those who stayed silent. It will remember those who stood. It is Fun Friday. We are going live tonight at 7 p.m. and I'm going live with many other America First creators. Be sure to tune in on Instagram. This is the Paint the Town Red podcast. We hope you guys have a great weekend.